Get set to take a look at the grid for the Stadium Super Trucks. Their return to Adelaide. We're on board with Paul Morris. Sean Sermony joins me for this. We flipped the grids as per qualifying from yesterday.
Absolutely, a complete inversion from qualifying yesterday, which means the slower truck being Bill Hines and Robbie Pierce, they are starting on the front row, gives them an advantage early in the race. But then all the way to back with the fastest qualifying times, that is Robbie Gordon. Next to him is Paul the Dude Morris. So it's going to be an exciting race. We've got our fastest guys in the back, some of the slower guys up front, and it's going to be a big mix-up. Keep in mind, Matt, midway through this race, there will be a mandatory competition caution. That means after lap 4, they're going to stop, go to full course caution, bunch the pack back up, and go racing again for a dead drag to the very end of the checkered flag.
Really looking forward to this. There he is, the master. Robbie Gordon getting set to let loose around here. The brainchild behind this series alongside Australia's hope, Paul Morris, in the Super Chief Auto Hungry Jacks number 67.
You see these guys ready to go. You know, last year in 2015, Robbie Gordon had everything he could to get him and his truck up on the podium. So much great talent started 12 months ago here in Australia. We brought in Matt Mingay and Toby Price and all these Aussie drivers that really upped the game of Stadium Super Trucks here. So now here we are. It's basically the guys from the States, all the guys here from home in Australia, and the amount of talent is unreal. Only a split couple bits of seconds in between the fastest qualifier all the way down to about 9th. So these guys are basically, Rod, you could throw a blanket over the top of all of them as far as time goes, and they're off and racing, Matt.
Strap yourself in. It's going to be 4 screaming laps before we get to the competition caution, and veteran Robbie Pierce will lead us down to turn number 1 through the centre chicane. Now, they've been warned about Pebble Beach on the right-hand side here. If you go through that, you are going to cop some penalties.
Absolutely. Race control, the guys from CAMS and our guys Jason Smith from USAC, they are going to be hot and heavy on that area. They can touch that curve. They can get 2 wheels over the curve. They start pulling pebbles out, they're going to get a warning. After that, it could turn into possibly a loss of a position, loss of a lap, or a black flag.
Robbie Gordon sitting at the back at the moment, as he tends to do in these early stages. But it's Travis Melbourne that leads us to South Oz. In fact, he lives just across the road here. That's how close is this Clipsal 500 precinct. We're on board with the dude, Paul Morris, as he chases down the legend of off-road racing in Robbie Pierce.
You see Paul Morris going a little wide. The dude giving Pierce a little respect there, giving him some room as they get big air off that Toyo jump. The earth just falling out from underneath them as they jump down that huge hill.
Matt Brabham, we're looking at chasing down the 3-time Australian Super Touring champion back in the 90s, Paul Morris, and the 2014 Bathurst winner also. Now, something new for 2016. There's no ramp down here. They're carrying a lot of speed down to the turn 9 hairpin.
This is an excellent place, a very fast area for them where they can either burn off their brakes. Oh, and it looks like Greg Gartner in the 500 truck. He gets turned around. He may have gotten a little assistance there, but that's, you know, there's no crying here in that Stadium Super Truck. So that's going to happen throughout the weekend. Right now, here we are. We see out in front, running what the colors that Robbie Gordon normally would be running. That's Burt Jenner. Burt Jenner in the number 50, bright orange Speed Energy tracks his truck, putting a lot of pressure there on Cowie, and now moving up into first place. Meanwhile, Sheldon Creed, the 2015 points champion in that number 1 red Traxxas truck, he had to start near the back of the pack as well, being the 3rd fastest qualifier. He is already beyond mid-pack right now and moving up quickly.
Now, they're all told yesterday at the driver's briefing that things aren't going to be like they were in 2015. You damage the trucks, you're paying the bills.
Absolutely. If you make a really silly decision here, put yourself in the wall or what have you, you're going to be paying the bills for it. If you get some help from somebody else, it'll be a judgment call. You see, here is Toby Price, your 2016 Dakar champion, Aussie driver here in the 87. Making a good move, moving up. Toby Price actually doing great in practice yesterday, being the 2nd fastest in practice. Right now he is in P5 with his eyes set on Keegan Kincaid.
This will be a walk in the park for Toby Price right now after doing Dakar recently. And back on 4 wheels, we ride on board with Paul Morris side by side across the ramp heading down Bartels Road.
Morris and Kincaid side by side off that jump. Big air off of both of them. Right now, a little bit of breathing room for our current leader. That's Burt Jenner in the number 50 Speed Energy Toyo Tire Traxxas truck. He has a little bit of a lead right now over Milburn. Milburn, second place right now. That's got to be exciting for him, but if you're looking in that rearview mirror, he's got to be nervous. Maddie Mingay, Toby Price, the current champion, Sheldon Creed. That's an awful lot of pressure for a rookie in Stadium Super Trucks.
Bert Jenner leads us around through turn 11, 3 wins last year in a Stadium Super Trucks and a truck off down there in the gravel.
It was hard to say. I think that might have been Greg Gardner again in there doing a bit of a soil sample off to the side of the track.
Is that what you call it?
Now still out front, Bert Jenner looking comfortable. P2, that is Matt Mingay. The dude getting a little crossed up, almost 3 wide off of that jump. Right now we got a good shot of Matty Brabham in the UFD, United Fiber and Data truck. Matty Brabham said earlier going on to the Indy 500 this year for 2016 for the 100th anniversary of that race. And he is here with us in Adelaide at the Clipsal 500 this weekend and running quite strong, Matt.
That is 2 awkward landings we've seen already for Morris. He replicated what he did yesterday during qualifying. He runs in 5th position right now as Jenner goes right over the top of the curbs there at the top of Wakefield Street.
Jenner's got a little bit of a cushion right now between himself and second place Mingay. So he's using as much track as he can, be as smooth as possible. You see him rolling the throttle on those Toro tires, getting the power of the ground for both him and Creed. Similar driving style there, but that gap is being closed up quicker and quicker right now. Mingay is starting to gain a little bit of time on our current leader, Bert Jenner, as we hop on board with the Hungry Jack Super Jeep of Paul the Dude Morris.
Serious airtime, gets right out towards the wall. They've moved that ramp across to the left-hand side, so it lines up with the curb to give a more of a straight approach at the ramp running down Bartels Road.
Now you see right now there's just a gap of 2.9 seconds between first and second place. That seems like a big gap in Stadium Super Trucks. Anything happens really quickly here. That can be made up in just a turn or two. Toby Price shows Matt Mingay, hey man, I just came off winning Dakar. I plan on winning here this weekend. Dives to the inside, cheats him back to the outside, makes it happen. Takes that Trojan Security KTM number 87 truck, makes that move past.
Was that a case of who's the boss?
I think it was. Without no Tony Danza in that one.
I wasn't going to go there. Glad you did. The dude takes us up to the Adelaide hairpin. Watch this ramp, a new addition in 2016. It just locks the rears up and almost gives the 2015 champ a bit of a love tap.
Matt
oh no.
Truck sideways all over. Is he able to hang on to it? Both those trucks will have to give up that little bit of speed. No positions gained right there. They almost went 3 wide. They go into the competition caution. Now what will happen in a case like that, Matt, when you have a truck, or for that matter 2 trucks, that can't safely get over the jump properly? If they were to go around that jump and gain a position, they are to give that position back right away. If they gain any time, they're to do their best there. Mingay gets into Toby Price, doesn't get out of the skinny pedal.
Is that
Sheldon
not the coolest
Creed,
piece you've seen?
really sideways. Then Creed and Price forced to go around the next jump. We said earlier, after practice and qualifying, we're going to see it one more time. These guys are so close, Matt, and their speed on this track, almost 3 wide. I have to believe that Toby Price saved Sheldon Creed from going around further by hitting him in the rear end of the air. Second time we've seen him that sideways in the air on that straightaway in 12 months.
Yeah, totally. Get it on all 4 wheels this time. This is from the dude's perspective. You'll see it all unfold in front of him. Out of the Adelaide hairpin, and someone had to give. Watch Creed here. And a driver of his caliber saved that just then. We could have had 3 or 4 trucks in the fence.
We're going to see one more replay of it here. Mingay coming in real hot, getting into the rear end of Price, then bouncing off of Creed. Creed sideways in the air.
They clear the ramp. Under competition caution here at Adelaide. Oh, man. Take a deep breath. We're about to go green very soon. Bert Jenner, the man from West Los Angeles, originally from Malibu, runs his own dog hotel over in that part of the world, something quite unique. LA Dogs, you know, it's posh. Like I said yesterday, man, I'm thinking about getting an apartment there myself. Flat screen TVs, nice beds. He's got a great deal there. But right now, he's concentrating on taking this one home. Folks, we're only halfway through this race. So we've still got 4 laps left to go in this 8-lap race. Very exciting so far. Out in front right now is Bert Jenner. He is in that bright orange Speed Energy Traxxas truck that you would normally see Robbie Gordon drive. Robbie Gordon's in the Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000, green and black number 7 this weekend, as they are off Matt Nolte. Back on the green flag conditions here in Adelaide, down to the centre chicane we go. And this is where I expect more action, if anything, in the first half of this race. Anything to go by. We're on board with Robbie Gordon. so much experience, a world legend in motorsport. Takes us up to the top of Wakefield Street. Now Toby Price challenges for the lead.
Toby Price just had a part of Mingay's truck fall off him from a lap earlier that was stuck to him as he challenges our leader, makes a nice clean pass on Bert Jenner. Sheldon Creed gets into Bert Jenner. Not too bad. I wouldn't say that was an aggressive move. It just wasn't quite what Bert Jenner needed there. Bert drops back. Now you see Keegan Kincaid, his hood shoved up in his face. Very difficult to see the rest of the race here as we hop on board the Hungy Jacks. Paul the Dude Morris. You see right now, Robbie Gordon in that 5th position right now. Robbie's going to put on some moves here in the second half. He always takes it easy in the first half of these races. Once we get to the comp caution, he gets real serious. So be watching that Arctic Cat Wildcat, number 7, be moving up through the pack here, Matt.
Keegan Kincaid looks like he's had the front head butted here. He's going to try and straighten it out here on the back of Paul Morris's truck. Like a shark attacking the back of the Super Chief Auto entry. Round the backside of the circuit we go. Here's Robbie Gordon and Matt Mingay glued to him right now.
Now you see great race right there. Oh, we've got another truck around. I believe it's Toby Pierce.
Oh, no.
I have to think he got around all on his own there. It's hard to say if he got any assistance in that one or not. He was running so well. Definitely a problem with the front end. Now out in front, it's Paul Morris, Keegan Kincaid, and Sheldon Creed in P3. Excellent race going on. As we said before, it's a long race to be out here with this type of action, but the last 4 laps is when it all goes to heck, and these guys really drop the hammer on one another, and it's falling off the car fast right now.
Morris up 10 positions, you can see on our Toyota Stadium Super Trucks leaderboard on the run down to the center chicane. This is not how to attack. Oh, is that two-wheeling feeling?
That is two-wheeling is not a good feeling, especially for Toby Price today. Throw it away all on his own on that one right now. A great race as you can throw a blanket over it. Oh, and Mingay gets up. We didn't see that in the last part of it. Mingay then spins out Robbie Gordon. So a lot of stuff happening in that one turn right there. That's going to change the race up big time.
And Morris is under massive siege here onto Bartels Road. We look out the back of the Super Chief Auto truck, hitting the Toyo Tyres ramp. And side by side across there, serious hang time for the 2015 champ.
And there we are, Traxxas on Traxxas, the teammates side by side there. As we see on board Paul Morris, the dude has a respectable lead right now. He's hoping, I would have to think, that the battle for second place right now is going to slow them up. As you see, Creed obviously got heavy into the back of his teammate as his hood's pushed up here. Both Traxxas truck, just like the RC cars, taking a serious beating and keep on trucking here. These trucks are so tough. You see the teammates back and forth as they're trying to chase down our current leader right now, the Super Chief Auto driver, Paul Morris.
That wouldn't be easy to take turn 8 like that. He wouldn't be able to see too much.
No, it definitely would not be. But the thing is, with Keegan Kincaid and Sheldon Creed, these guys are rough and tumble kind of guys. So very seldom do you see them finish one of these races without their hood up in their face. I think if you gave them open sight the whole time, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
I can see the damage chart being added to as this lap goes on.
Absolutely. You see right now, going down the front stretch, these guys getting away from each other a little bit, giving each other a little breathing room. We are 7 of 8 laps as we hop on board with Robbie Gordon.
This will be the replay of what happened down at turn 11, right in front of the fans. They're going to be loving this down there in the Cooper's corner. Jenner went from the leader back to 10th position and all of that. Robbie was lucky to get away with that.
He absolutely was, and we are the Royal Purple Oil truck of Robbie Pierce right there, and then there is Bill Hines.
Uh-oh.
Smoking the wheels off there. Making a bit of an exit off the track for a brief moment, as here we are back for the race to the finish. We are 7 of 8 right now as they head down that huge downhill jump. Paul Morris out in front, Sheldon Creed P2, and Keegan Kincaid P3. Matty Brabham is now in the battle. See if he can make it happen. And there is Greg Gardner. Greg Gardner having some mistakes earlier on in the race, keeping him out of contention for the podium for today. But keep in mind, it's 3 races this weekend, Matt. So they get points for each race. So the driver with the most points at the end of Sunday's race will be our overall winner for the weekend. So right now, consistency is what's going to win the championship at the end of this weekend.
Look at the 18-year-old menacing the back of Morris here. Out of turn 11 past the Shannon's wall cam and the run to the second last ramp to start the final lap here. What's Creed got for us?
we'll see. You know, Sheldon, he's got a lot of tricks in that bag of his, and he can dig down real deep in it. Never know, but Paul the Dude Morris, you know, he's no novice. He's been around all kinds of racing for a very, very long time. So he's going to have to pull out something really spectacular it's one thing to catch the dude, it's another thing to pass the dude. And but if anybody can make that happen, that's going to be Sheldon Creed. And when he does, I guarantee Keegan Kincaid is going to do everything he can to be a part of that program.
Look how quick they go to the centre chicane there too. They've stayed off the beach, and now Morris drives on the defensive here on the run-up. Creed's going to have to go the long way around here at the top of Wakefield Street. And Kincaid could pickpocket these two.
Absolutely. Kincaid's waiting for these guys to put a move on one another here so that he can take advantage of it. Sheldon Creed swapping a little paint on his Traxxas #1 with Paul the Dude Morris here. Great battle back and forth. How many of these battles with different competitors have we seen Sheldon Creed be a part of just in the last 12 months, Matt?
The reason why he carries #1 on that truck. Looking to open up his account. Of course, this counts towards the 2016 championship, the first round of this year's series before heading to Florida next weekend. Couple of chances still to come here for Creed through the sweeper of this turn 8. Morris stacked him up a little bit. Here he comes.
Dives to the outside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? You know, he's reaching deep down in that bag of tricks right now. What's he going to do? He's up in front. Is Morris going to make it happen? Kincaid dives in as well, tries to follow his teammate. Can't get Morris out of the way. Morris drops back to P2.
Oh, it's not done. Far from done here. Creed, 3 turns remaining. He's taken the lead. Morris has one last shot here on the run to the hairpin. I called it too early last year. It could finish at the finish line on that ramp upside down. I wouldn't rule it out.
No, anything can happen now. Sheldon can't see where he's going at all in that #1 truck. Probably doesn't know the dude's down to the inside. The dude way to the inside. Sheldon squares it up early. Apex early on as they drag race down the front stretch.
You've got to be kidding me. It's a truck length at the end. I think Jason Smith at USAC's got a couple of decisions to make, though.
Absolutely, he does. It looks like unofficially Sheldon Creed takes the win. Paul Morris in P2. Keegan Kincaid, Sheldon's Traxxas teammate in P3. Thumbs up back and forth from the dude and to Sheldon Creed. Respecting each other, respecting the series. Just great guys. What a race, huh, man?
Unbelievable race here. And it's only race #1.
Very, very exciting.
Sheldon Creed, the winner, 1/10 of a second at the finish line, 6/10 back to Keegan Kincaid. And we'll go back to Morris, Gordon, Brabham, Gartner, Cowie, Bert Jenner, Pierce, and Matt Mingay completing the top 10. What a race.
That was exciting. Now, when you bring it right down to it, these guys are so close in practice and qualifying. This is one of the best fields we've seen in Stadium Super Trucks.
Replay one more time. They split hairs at the first ramp, and then Morris squeezed out, had to take the grass. 1/10 of a second is the win to Creed. Highlights, stack them up. Race 1 of this year's championship got underway. Rob Pierce led us down to the first corner before everyone ate him alive at the top of Wakefield Street.
You see right off the bat, the first lap, their trucks all kinds of sideways from lap #1, as you see Matty Brabham, the UFD. Right now, Matty Brabham running very well, but then we had the number 25 off in the pucker brush a little bit there into the wall. See a lot of Toby Price in the 87. He was very aggressive early on in the race. And then you see here Matt Mingay, Sheldon Creed, Toby Price, the dude, all in what could have been just a horrible part of that race.
Greg Gartner did the same thing at Sydney and ended up on his roof in 2015. And this is where Bert Jenner would get ahead of Price. They went side by side down. We thought this was a clean move. Survey said no.
Survey says no. I think there's a little more to it than that. I think Sheldon Creed, and Toby Price threw it away all on his own. Then Matt Mingay gets into the number 7 of Robbie Gordon, and then it just turned to a complete yard sale in that turn.
How was Brabham straight through the middle of all of that as well? That was a replay from Robbie Gordon's truck spinning around in front of Greg Gartner and Bert Jenner. It was a clearance sale of trucks down there at turn 11. And this was the run on the very last lap when Creed took the lead. Kincaid put his nose down the inside of the dude. And it was far from over. They went side by side across the ramp. Morris the grass and Creed the winner. Race 1 is down. Sean Cermany's gone for a lay down. Looking forward to the rest of this weekend. The Clipsal 500 continues on the other side of this break. Looking out of Robbie Gordon's entry, there is the grid. So Price and Mingay off the front row for this one. Matty copped the 2-point penalty and has one to his name for the weekend. Bill Hines and Robbie Pearce, a legend of off-road racing. Bert Jenner and Rob Cowie on the next row. Greg Gardner and Matty Brabham. Robbie Gordon and Keegan Kincaid on the 5th row. And how's that for a stacked back row? Paul Morris and Sheldon Creed.
Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of times you'll have some of the guys that maybe had some struggles and things not set the faster lap times for the weekend up in front. Well, due to some accidents and some different things, we've got Toby Price and Matt Mingay, who are both capable of not just winning today, but winning the overall for the weekend as far as talent and speed goes. They're sitting up front on the inside and the outside pole. Now, that may very well give them an opportunity to run away and get a bit of a lead to run at least the first half of what should be an 8-lap or 20-minute race. Keep it in mind, there will be a mandatory competition caution midway through this race, which means at lap 4, they'll go a full course caution, pack the pack all back together again, and they'll go green one more time for the last 4 laps, which means it's basically an epic drag race, battle royale, if you will, to the checkered flag. So that's what we're going to see here. Now, the goal is for each one of these drivers, out of the 3 races today, and this is number 2 of the 3 races for the weekend, they need to accumulate as many points as they can to crown the overall winner for this weekend right now. So, going into this race, it was Paul the Dude Morris and Sheldon Creed tied with 15 points. However, Sheldon Creed was docked 1 point for taking out Jenner yesterday. So that means Paul the Dude Morris is in the lead with 15 points. Sheldon Creed's in second right now with 14 points. So it kind of gives them a little bit of gap for the dude. Is that enough of a gap? Absolutely not. Not with 2 races left to go. So it's certainly going to make things exciting today.
The crowd here at Adelaide have had a chance to go and rehydrate after race 1 of the V8 Supercars. It's 37 degrees here. In your terms, it's nearly 100.
In my terms, it's just too dang hot is what it is. Absolutely. And they are off. We are going green with race number 2.
Toby Price gets the jump, but looks like they're all just creeping away at the back of the field here. Sheldon Creed, the last one to leave the line as they hit the centre chicane. The Dakar champ leads one of Australia's best stuntmen through the chicane and up Wakefield Street for the first time.
Now you see right now our leaders out in front, Toby Price and Matt Mingay, as Toby smokes the tires off going into turn number 4. They're running it in real deep. Their goal right now is to pull as much of his lead as they can on the pack. We see Bert Jenner. He's already made a couple of moves from 5th up into 4th right now. So he's going after the leaders immediately. He's smart. He knows what's going on. He's won races with us several times now in Stadium Super Trucks. He's been on the podium before. He knows what he needs to do. He's not waiting to the comp caution. He's dropping the hammer immediately to move through the pack.
Talking about dropping the hammer, Robbie Gordon's done the same as they hit the ramp on Bartels Road, which has been moved across the left-hand side. From the driver's point of view, we jump on board with the Super Cheap Auto Hungry Jack's entry of the dude, Paul Morris. We get down to turn 8.
Now, Paul Morris, he's only been with us a couple times, but this is his type of racing. Rough and tumble, shove each other around type of race, and that says Paul the Dude Morris all over it. We've seen him on the podium. We've seen him with an overall. So right now, he's in the lead, ready to go. Look at, we're going almost 3 wide. Robbie Gordon goes to the inside. They make a pass, both him and Matty Brabham make a clear pass on Gardner and move up through the pack.
How seriously do you want 3 wide going through the hairpin? And they managed to stay alive. That's Greg Gardner, R&J Batteries on the side of his truck, the Think Desert Classic winner, then based in the southeast of South Australia here. Oh no! Mingay upside down, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Mingay all on his own, sideways, staying on the gas off that jump, and up and over he went. Pretty wild ride he took right there, Matt Mingay.
There's the wheel off the truck too in the background. So that's exceeded Greg Gardner's effort at Sydney and exceeded Sheldon Creed's effort in race 3 here last year.
It certainly has. Luckily, and I'm sure we'll be going to the replay here, it didn't seem like he hit Cage down too hard there. So, but that was a rough and tumble one, and I believe he was all on his own, staying on the gas as he went off the jump. sitting there now with only just a three-wheeler. They out three-wheelers in 1987, so we're bringing it back to the day here. Hopefully Matt Mingay is okay. He's a rough and tumble kind of guy. And hopefully Matt's getting out of that truck and is going to be just fine.
There was a bit of talk about that ramp on the approach to the hairpin up there. And we've seen some pretty awkward landings during practice and qualifying, and certainly during race one. And now Matt Mingay lays on the side here at the top of the Adelaide hairpin.
Pretty long tumble there as we go back to see the replay. Mingay real sideways right there. And here you go. The suspension, the sidles, everything unloads. No chance of recovering that, as he luckily doesn't have too much of a hard hit on the top of the car. The bottom half taking a majority of the beating. We can see it from a higher perspective right now.
It's just that landing. I think he was trying to pull the truck up because Price had already locked the brakes up on his truck as well. And look at Bert Jenner, lucky to get through as well with that wheel that was flying away in Mingay.
Mingay is, well, he is a stuntman. And he is a showman, and probably wasn't planning on using those two skills in this race, but there he is, up and ready to go.
Ever the showman, he walks away. He'll be disappointed.
Matt Mingay going from his first time 12 months ago right here at the Clipsal 500 here in Adelaide, and Stadium Super Trucks getting 3 third-place finishes for third overall. 12 months later, he's struggling this weekend with getting in a couple accidents yesterday, and now, as you saw, a pretty good tumble for him here as we see the replay one more time, Matt.
So Price locks up the brakes, forcing Mingay to do the same, and then a series of end for ends. The awkward landing sends the Hot Wheels entry on a series of rolls onto its side.
With Bert Jenner having the best seat in the house for that one right there.
Watch him in the Speed Energy Drinks truck behind. The livery that Robbie Gordon would usually use during this series. Now watch him in the background here. Just weave his way. And that would have got his attention. He actually rode over the wheel that was laying on the circuit.
I'm sure Bert Jenner's thinking, wow, that alone is worth the price of admission for me here. You know, your best seat in the house to see that. Hey, great news, though. Matt Mingay is up, out of the truck. It looks like he's in good health. I'm sure they'll be checking him out just in case.
Listen to this, when he climbs out. The fans may be hot and sweaty here today, but they're still very, very loud indeed. And Mingay climbs out.
When it comes to Hot Wheels and Castrol Edge, you know, helping Matt Mingay in his efforts with the stunt show and Stadium Super Trucks, what a better guy to sponsor. It doesn't matter if you're winning or tumbling down the track, you're grabbing everyone's attention.
So what's going to happen now? We brought the caution out. Will we get a second competition caution? Will this be classed as it?
Well, that's going to be a decision made by race control with our friends from CAMS and Jason Smith as well from USAC. But what's going to happen is we are 8 laps or 20 minutes, whatever comes first. So that being said, normally we'd have a comp caution at lap number 4. That being said, we're going to see if they go into another comp caution or not. They may just do a mad dash right to the finish. But as you see right now, they're still counting laps. So I'd be surprised if we see a competition caution.
So under safety car here, or the invisible safety car at the moment, while we retrieve Matt Mingay's truck at the top. Let's catch up with Robbie Gordon and learn about these Stadium Super Trucks.
All right, I'm Robbie Gordon from Stadium Super Trucks. We're back to the Clipsal 500 for the second year in a row. We're going to take you a little deeper into one of our Stadium Super Trucks. From the outside, it may seem like a life-size Traxxas truck, but actually a human being can jump in and drive. It's got a fiberglass body, big 35-inch Toyo tires on some KMC wheels, and over here inside the driver's compartment, instead of a normal pickup truck having 2 seats, this is a single-seat vehicle. It does have mounts for a second seat when we do want to take media. It has a dash very similar to what you'd have in an IndyCar or V8 supercar. Obviously, the shifting mechanism is much different. Instead of paddle shifts or sequential shift, we've got a gate pattern for the shifter, and that black lever to the right is the have fun lever. You can pull that thing right there, and it'll actually rotate the car into the corner a little bit sideways. So if you got a terminal understeer problem, you can tug on that thing a little bit, and it'll free the car up. Over here in the back, we'll start in the back. We've got the back of the car is a coilover and a shock absorber system. It has about 24 inches of wheel travel. You see the big, massive King rear shock, and then the 3-stage coilover in front of it. It's got 4-wheel disc brakes in the back. And I'll take you over to the front. Inside here, we've got a dual A-arm wishbone, hydraulic disc brakes in the front. a massive hydraulic steering ram here in the front to be able to control these big 35-inch tall Toyo tires. And stuffed inside here, we've got a Chevrolet LS engine making over 625 horsepower. And this little guy over here is the front anti-roll bar. So it has a lot of the characteristics of what you would see in a V8 supercar, just turned into a life-size Traxxas truck. So we're excited to be back here at Clipsal and looking forward to a great weekend.
Recreated back in 2013 off the Mickey Thompson series, and Robbie Gordon has certainly pushed this series to high levels. So much so now they've done 50 races in just a 3-year career.
Absolutely, you know, it has just really taken off. And what's the cool thing is that, you know, a lot of times there'll be a cool race car, and then some toy company will come along and make a model of that toy. This was the exact opposite. Robbie Gordon saw the Traxxas RC trucks and saw what a pounding they take. Said, that's great. I would love to make a life-size Traxxas RC truck, and that's ultimately what the Stadium Super Trucks ended up being. So basically Traxxas and the dream of making that happen, and then of course the past of Mickey Thompson, which was a wonderful series. The two of them came together, and this was the brainchild of Robbie Gordon.
How many kids are going to go home tonight or watching this today and go, Dad, I'm doing a Matt Mingay with their little truck at home?
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as it's only with a little truck at home, you know, that's great. I certainly encourage it. But, you know, when you see one of your favorite superstars like Matt Mingay or Morris or Creed or Kincaid, and then you've got that same body in that RC car and things like that. I mean, I'm 40 years old. I'm doing the same thing at home.
Absolutely.
I've got several of them. And so they're a great time. And so that Stadium Super Trucks is something you can watch on TV, and then, you know, you can almost pretend you got the big zipper on and going out driving yourself.
Hopefully Matt Mingay, they should get that truck fine for tomorrow. He was a little bit disappointed after his Gold Coast effort, even more so with his Las Vegas effort. Meantime, the pace begins to quicken at the end of lap number 3. I'm sure we got more excitement. That was pretty cool, but I reckon I can do it again.
Yeah, that was definitely pretty cool, but like I said, I doubt they're going to have a comp caution. We'll see what happens, but I guarantee they are going to drop the hammer now all the way to the checkered flag. So very exciting racing so far, and that's not going to stop at all here.
Price is out of here. Brabham used to the curve, and now Robbie Gordon like a shark on the back of the United Fibre and Data entry. The two-truck effort with Bill Hines is ahead, and we're going to be 3 wide. With Rob Pierce on the outside, the Royal Purple Motor Oils entry.
Rob Pierce taking it a little wide right there. You see teammates Hines and Brabham making the best work they can of it behind them. They got the Arctic Cat, Wildcat 1000 entry, Robbie Gordon, the number 7. And like we said, same with Creed, they both got a very deep bag of tricks they're going to be digging into to move up through the pack here.
Saw Brabham go down the inside of his teammate. Looks like Gordon's done the same thing. Meantime, Price and Jenner, well, they're out of here. It's 5 seconds from second back to third here.
That is a huge gap right now, and I think the reason is Brabham, Hines, Gordon, Pierce, those guys are having such a battle. It's slowing them down, and it's allowing Price and Jenner to just check out and have their own fight.
Toby Price did race here last year. In one of the races, he shared the truck with Billy Geddes that day. They've disappeared now. Robbie Gordon lights the wick of the Arctic Cat Wildcat entry up to 3rd place. As Jenner, she's looking racy this weekend in the Speed Energy Drinks entry.
Jenner and Price, both great guys. They're going to race each other clean, these two guys. You can tell when we're in the pits and things, they respect each other on and off the track. We're going to see a great race in the battle. And it looks like we got the number 500 of Greg Gartner. He got into Robbie Pierce in the Royal Purple Oils truck. We may see a replay of that a little later on. Those two getting locked up good and tight as we complete another lap. We're on lap 4 of 8 right now. And we've got Robbie Gordon and Matty Brabham get through that pack, and they're moving up. But meanwhile, we've got Creed still locked down in 5th place. Behind him is Morris all the way back in 7th. They got stuck in that pack for that first lap after going back under green again. That really slowed things up. Those guys are hoping for a mandatory competition caution. I don't know if they're going to see it, Matt.
Well, hoping these two block the track up at some point. Nothing happening at the moment as Price sweeps through the staircase. Replay behind. This will be Pierce and Gartner. And Gartner just drives into the back of the veteran. No respect given from the South Aussie.
Absolutely not. It looks like Gardner just parked it right in. We were on to with a Hungry Jack's truck with the dude. it's hard to say exactly what happened there. The dude may have assisted, but it's hard when you got 3 trucks all trying to be in the same spot at the same time. Only one's going to fit.
Morris tried to turn that into a drive-through coming through turn 11.
The drive-through Hungry Jacks truck.
Oh, here we go. Side by side. Door handle to door handle.
Talk about gentlemen out on the racetrack really working kind with one another there. They looked in the rearview mirror. They know, hey, we got a big gap here. We got to really mess up to make this thing go bad for us. So they're playing it cool. But the thing is, right now, Robbie Gordon's sitting in the 3rd position. If anyone is going to make up that kind of time with only a handful of laps to go, without a doubt, it's going to be a guy like Gordon or Creed. Gordon's in a position to do that right now.
Bert Jenner, very impressive. He picked up 3 race wins last year in the Stadium Super Truck Series, picked up a win at Detroit, and now looking for his first win, his first visit to Adelaide. He watched it on TV last year, made the big trek across from North America, based out of West Los Angeles these days, where he runs a dog hotel.
He does, Bert Jenner, running West LA Dogs, a dog hotel, very posh, very cool place to hang out if you're one of our 4-legged friends. And so that's helping him out with Stadium Super Truck Racing, just as Speed and Traxxas are this weekend, running the liveries of Robbie Gordon. Here we are on board with the super cheap auto of Paul the Dude Morris Kincaid, and the blue Traxxas truck dives to the inside. Morris cannot see where he's going down the straightaway. Kincaid gets in front of him, makes a nice clean pass. I tell you, if things end up finishing the way they are, the dude was in the lead with the weekend points right now. He's all the way back in the 7th position. That's not going to help at all. Creed was in 2nd. Creed's all the way back right now in the 5th position. This is really going to change up for the points of the weekend unless we see something drastic happen.
But we're going to go side by side into turn 8 then, but Price holds on. The star of Dakar this year leads Bert Jenner, who pulls it to the inside. Can he pull it up for turn 9? That's the big question.
Bert Jenner goes to the inside, makes it stick. Oh,
that was cool.
Toby Price almost gets him back immediately. Nice, clean racing by these 2 guys. Out in front, looking like veterans, when Bert Jenner just has about a season with us. Toby Price, this is his only 2nd weekend ever in the Stadium Super Truck. They look like they've been doing this for years.
Absolutely. Here's Gordon, though, just chipping away. The gap is only 3 seconds. And a couple of laps to go here, so watch out for the NASCAR and IndyCar legend in the Arctic Cat Wildcat number 7. They come out of the Adelaide hairpin, hit the first of these 2 massive jumps from this massive crowd on pit straight.
Absolutely, they land off of these. As soon as they land, they grab 3rd gear. This is when we're really getting some speed going into that chicane in turns 1 and 2. Robbie Gordon, Matty Brabham, and Sheldon Creed right there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They are hoping that our leaders tangle up, slow each other up with a good battle, something along the lines. Otherwise, they are not going to have enough time to fight for a finish up in front.
So Jenner has got the lead while that was happening. So Jenner has got the lead by a couple of truck lengths. On lap 7, gets ahead of Price.
Jenner and Price with a great battle right now. Price in that Trojan Security KTM truck. KTM being a huge sponsor with his winning the Dakar, the 2016 Dakar on the 2-wheel class. These guys out in front and running well. You're right, Matt Nolte. Robbie Gordon is closing up that gap, but we're 7 of 8 laps right now. That mandatory competition caution is no longer mandatory. It happened on lap number 1, so we're not going to bunch them back up. Robbie Gordon and Matty Brabham need something drastic to happen to finish up 1st or 2nd.
So Jenner may drive away here, but look at Robbie Gordon starting to close in. Down to 2.5 seconds.
Nice, clean racing out front for the number 50 Speed Energy Traxxas truck of our leader right now, Bert Jenner. And 2nd place right now, the 87 of Toby Price. Good racing going on up front. Absolute gentlemen, which I've got to say is something you don't usually see in this series. You see these guys lean on each other really, really hard. So we'll see here with just over a lap left to go. It'll be, I'm curious to see how much pressure Toby Price on the last lap puts on Jenner.
This is it. They come around to start the final lap, across the top of the big curve, and the chase is on for the final lap. The white flag comes out. You'll see it dangling to the right-hand side. In Australia, that means we've got a slow-moving vehicle. In America, it means we're on the last lap.
Absolutely. See Robbie Gordon, we're on board there with the black and fluorescent green Wildcat Arctic Cat 1000, number 7 of Robbie Gordon. He is doing everything he can to be as smooth, not make any mistakes. reach deep down in that bag of tricks to try to catch these guys. We know if he hangs on the way he is now, he's got a podium position for this race, a third position if he hangs on to it. Third is not good enough for Robbie Gordon, especially in Stadium Super Trucks. So he needs our first two competitors here. They got to make a stake, got to get tangled. Something's got to happen for them, for Robbie to capitalize on it.
He's closer than ever. Final run down Bartels Road. They clear the Toyo Tyres ramp. I think Gordon might get Price here. He's lined him up for turn 9.
I'm wondering what's going to happen on turn 9, and I'm wondering what's going to happen on turn 14 for Gordon and Toby Price right now. I guarantee, with Robbie being as close to him, he's going to try to do something to stuff it in. I'm thinking it may end up being all the way back on 14, the last and final lap to go as they get lined up to go off those two big jumps.
Closer than ever through there. Meantime, Jenner, 1.5 seconds up the road and looks safe at the moment, as safe as he can be in Stadium Super Trucks.
See him only a couple turns left to go and 2 jumps right now for our current leader, Bert Jenner. P2 is Robbie Price, P3 is Robbie Gordon. Is Robbie Gordon close enough to make something happen with 1 turn left to go? He's gonna dive way to the inside, cheats it up a little bit, if you will. It's not gonna be enough to make it stick.
Not this time. Bert Jenner, it's his 30th start in the Stadium Super Trucks and picks up his 4th career win. And does it by a couple of seconds. Price will get 2nd, Gordon will get 3rd. Sheldon Creed from the back gets 5th. And Matty Brabham holds down 6th.
Great race, very clean. A little, it was great fun racing, but a little cleaner than what we're used to seeing here. But when that mandatory calm caution happens on lap 1, well, then that makes it difficult for that pack to stay together here. You know, we saw an epic get-off earlier on, with Matt Mingay, and that ended up spreading the pack out early on. So great racing up front, and, kudos to our winners for Bert Jenner and Toby Price. Absolute gentlemen.
Field strung out towards the end. Highlight here, this is the Rob Cowie, Travis Melbourne entry. And this is what happened to Hines on the very last lap. I wonder why he was dropping down the order a bit. The UFD entry, and Robbie Gordon will finish 3rd. But congratulations to Bert Jenner. His 4th career win, 1 second clear of Toby Price. Gordon 3rd, then Creed, Brabham, Kincaid, Morris. Cowie in the truck today, Robbie Pearce and Bill Hines finishing back in 10th position in race 2 of the Toyo Tyres Stadium Super Trucks. Greg Gardner, the last of the finishers, and Matt Mingay, well, he was the highlights reel of race number 2.
I think he is the highlight reel, Matt Mingay is.
We got underway with Toby Price leading us down. This is the 3-wide battle I thought was going to be exploding down here, but it didn't eventuate in the end.
You see right there, Robbie Gordon early on trying to make as many moves as he can to move through the pack, and here's a big one. Oh, up and over again for the number 2 Hot Wheels Castrol Edge entry of Matt Mingay. Big get off for him as we see another angle of it here, Matt.
Shows you the speed of how quick they're going up towards the last corner. A series of rolls for the Hot Wheels entry of Matt Mingay on its side, and then
there he is, the entertainer, the stunt man. Bringing some of his stunt riders' entertaining skills right here to Stadium Super Trucks.
So it was an early competition caution, and we got back underway at the restart. And then the chase was on for Robbie Gordon. Sheldon Creed and Paul Morris, like they were yesterday, joined at the hip.
Those two, great racing for them so far this weekend. And then the Hungry Jacks entry gets into Gardner. Makes it a little bit difficult. Who gets into Robbie Pearce? Kind of almost a 3-way pile-up, but one of them got out lucky.
We didn't see that, and that was Gardner leaving the circuit at a high rate of knots.
Yeah, I guess so. That definitely, I'm sure he was puckered up there a little bit.
In the end, though, Bert Jenner picks up the win, 4th of his career, 1st on the streets of Adelaide here in race 2 of the Stadium Super Trucks.
And they are off. Now, keep in mind, folks, this is a complete inversion from the way the points sit for the weekend right now, which means your overall points finisher right now with 24 points is Robbie Gordon. He's starting all the way in the back of the pack. Right next to him, that is going to be Sheldon Creed. He's only 1 point away. They are racing for a championship at the end of this weekend right now. And the dude is only 3 points off. So it is wild right now as they get into 3. Travis Milburn and the Insane Motorsports number 25 going real wide, running it in deep.
They've been sharing truck duties, he and Rob Cowie this weekend. Robbie Gordon tested out the first ramp on the main straight. And Paul Morris cruising around here in the Super Cheap Auto Hungry Jacks truck here.
Very surprising for Paul Morse. He knows he's sitting in third right now. He has an opportunity to win the overall as you get big air from Matt Mingay as the crowd just drops out from underneath you there in that section.
Bert Jenner, very impressive this weekend too, and here comes the showstopper side by side down Bartels Road. I speak of Sheldon Creed working his way. Oh, who's going to give? Give it to Sheldon this time.
Robbie Gordon, smart about it. He said on the way here, he's like, you know what, I'm a little older, I'm a little smarter right now, and he showed it right there in that green Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000 as Gordon comes in hard on the binders, smoke off all 4 tires as just the pack gets wound up. Travis Milburn piles into the back of the number 47 of Keegan Kincaid. Travis not having a lot of seat time, first time out in this weekend in the Stadium Super Truck, as you mentioned, sharing that ride with with Rob Cowie, and those guys have been back and forth. Not a lot of seat time for him right there.
The 2 teammates bumping door handles. I talk of Bill Hines and Matt Brabham, who gets set to head to Indy 500 land in May. I'm not sure if that was Hines or Brabham going backwards having an issue there. He's a legend of off-road racing in Robbie Pierce.
Now, I believe that was Hines dropping back as both our current champion, our #1 in the Red Traxxas truck, Creed right behind him. Gordon making quick work of Hines there as they chase Matty Brabham down the front stretch. This is scheduled for 8 laps or 20 minutes, whatever comes first, and we will be seeing a mandatory competition caution midway through this race with a bunch of the pack back up.
3 wide at the top, and that's Greg Gardner, the R&J Batteries entry. He's been in the wars this weekend, more known for his big rollover at the Sydney Olympic Park event back in 2015. Great support this weekend on the side of truck number 500. The South Aussie sits back in 4th position.
As you go for a replay here through that chicane area, see Kincaid getting all kinds of sideways through there.
Tank slapper.
He gets off into the pucker weeds a little bit, tosses some roost, just gets by the tire barrier. Keegan Kincaid, he is an off-road dirt racing superstar. He may feel more comfortable over there than he does on the asphalt, so he ran her a little bit wide.
He's missing the dirt, perhaps. Having withdrawal symptoms as Jenner goes down the inside. Challenge for the lead here at turn 9, running the Robbie Gordon livery this weekend. The Speed Energy Drinks, number 50, takes the lead at the turn 9 hairpin.
Bert Jenner coming off a great finish yesterday, putting that Traxxas-sponsored number 50 truck up on top of the box yesterday with a #1, so he's sitting really good points-wise right now with a great battle with him and Matt Mingay. Now, Mingay, he's been struggling all weekend long, as we mentioned earlier. Is he going to be out here and be overly aggressive right now to get on top of the podium? Hopefully him and Bert can have a great race out there out front right now.
Look at Creed coming through the field. There's that notorious ramp that got Mingay yesterday into the hairpin, and that's Hines. Side by side with Pierce. They're going to hit the ramp together as we approach the competition. Caution very soon.
Side by side right there. Creed makes quick work of Pierce and Brabham. Move the front. That gives him a little bit of gap. Now, Robbie Gordon has 3 trucks in between them right now. Right now, we are looking at Sheldon Creed. Look at him, great wheel. It's a good field for Sheldon Creed. He almost gets it up on 2.
Been waiting all weekend for that moment. Into turn 4. Here's Robbie Gordon playing knock-knock who's there. Out of turn 4. Get the feeling this will get messy in a couple of laps or so.
Gordon putting some pressure on Greg Gardner in the number 500 truck. Gordon being smart, dives to the inside. You see Greg Gardner, his truck has a lot of personality right now. As you see, half the hood's been ripped off throughout the weekend. These trucks have battle scars on them from the past 2 races this weekend here. So these guys have gotten a lot of track time here as they go wide open, over 150 miles an hour in these trucks. And keep in mind, these Toyo tires get the power to the ground, but however, with all the suspension travel and the big sidewalls on them, they don't handle all that well on the asphalt, especially at those types of speeds.
The discipline stick come out during the driver's briefing on Thursday about damaging these trucks. There's a spreadsheet going with all the damage so far.
And that spreadsheet is very long. Yes. It's a long list of broken parts and body pieces. And you see right there, Robbie Gordon makes work of Greg Gardner, still out in front. Bert Jenner looking very comfortable. Right behind him is Matt Mingay. But who is now in the mix? Yesterday's 2nd place finisher in your 2016 Dakar 2-wheel champion. That is the KTM Trojan security driver of Toby Price.
Oh, Mingay gets spun on the final corner and parks himself on the ramp. This is different.
That's the first time we've seen that in Stadium Super Trucks. We've seen a lot of trucks go off them sideways. We've seen Matt Mingay go off them sideways, but we've never seen him just throw it and park right on the ramp.
The human highlights reel this weekend in Stadium Super Trucks. Contact with Toby Price and parks it conveniently. You couldn't do that at the local shopping mall.
No, you could not. We're going to have to see. We get one more look at it here. See Burt Jenner, he's all good, all alone, racing by himself. Mingay gets wide and sideways. Price helps him out a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see, actually, what happens here from a call from race control. Earlier on this weekend, we had a similar incident on that same ramp that could have got a lot uglier, and that was actually Matt Mingay really piling into Toby Price in that exact same turn. So that being said, is Toby Price saying, hey, you know, I was very nice to you off the track. I'm going to keep my business on the track. Was that Toby saying, hey, you did this to me 2 days ago. I'm doing it right back to you. You know, Rubbin's racing, and that's how we like it in Stadium Super Truck. Will there be maybe a stop-and-go penalty or anything of that nature made from race control? Time will tell as we come around for this next lap.
The USAC officials, including Jason Smith. This is a replay of Matt Mingay's roll. 1, 2, 3. Entertaining the massive crowd yesterday. How much damage was there to this truck in the end?
There was a fair amount, but you got to keep in mind, these
look
trucks,
at this.
Look at that view. Burt Jenner, best seat in the house on the binders, Burt Jenner, so he didn't get into them. And there he is, going straight monster truck style, if you will, up on top of his truck, all pumped up. You know, he is a showman, without a doubt, and luckily a stuntman as well. These trucks are designed right after the Traxxas RC trucks. They're so tough. They are rough and tumble. So it's not a big deal to have them take that type of beating. And
so they come around for the restart at the end of the competition. Caution, halfway home in the final race of the Stadium Super Trucks at the streets of Adelaide. Burt Jenner dribbling over the top of that ramp here. Very sedate look to the start of this one, looking for his second win of the weekend.
Burt Jenner packs the back of the pack up there. A pretty smart move, really. Then gets on the gas early, so it gives him a little bit of room there. But now here's Toby Price. We saw an epic battle yesterday between Burt Jenner and Toby Price. Good, clean, gentlemanly racing out here. But here's the difference between yesterday and today. As Price dives the inside and makes it happen, yesterday they didn't have Sheldon Creed right behind him. They didn't have Matty Brabham right behind him. This is going to be an epic drag race right to the checkered flag.
I thought we were going to have a replica of race number 1 going down into turn 5 then. But the Dakar champ leads us out of Flinders Street and onto Hutt Street. Toby Price takes the lead from Burt Jenner. Got Creed up to 3rd spot now, and Matty Brabham. This will be awesome.
Oh, and look at this. That's Robbie Gordon right behind him. Keegan Kincaid right behind him. And we got the biggest names in Stadium Super Truck Racing all right on top of one another right now, with only a handful of laps left to go in our last and final race here this weekend in Adelaide.
Creed up to 2nd. He looks menacing, doesn't he? Goes to the inside. Price down the middle of the road. Just pulls up the Trojan security entry. And everybody stacks up. That's a familiar sight during the week here in Adelaide with road traffic.
It certainly is. These guys getting through there nice and clean. Creed goes to the outside, tries to power around. Nice clean move there. Is he able to make a stick? Looks like he does as they file in behind one another. Toby Price falls back to P2, getting a little sideways there. Burt Jenner to P3. Now they've got their hands full. It's one thing to race with Sheldon Creed, but it's another thing to chase him down. Then you got to pass him back. I wish these guys luck.
Just like that.
Oh, and
kiss
just
of death.
like that. Toby Price goes around. It's hard to say if he got any help or if he did it all on his own. Burt Jenner dropping back 2 spots as well.
It had to pop eventually, didn't it?
It absolutely did. Now you see these guys all drag racing down here. Now Price and Jenner, they got their work cut out for them to get back up front again, as we've got Creed in the lead. Matty Brabham in the 2nd position with Gordon in P3. Now if you do the math, right now this is going to give the overall championship to, oh boy, to Creed for doing it, but it looks like Burt Jenner assisted Toby around a little bit. I'm sure that wasn't done on purpose. Toby Price getting a little more sideways than he needed to in that turn there, and Burt didn't really have anywhere to go, it seems like.
The dominoes effect, wasn't it? Spins him around and out puts Price, who led us momentarily back to 8th position. How quickly it can change.
Absolutely. You go from P1 to P8 in less than a lap. Some good contact there from Keegan Kincaid in the Traxxas number 47 into Robbie Gordon in that Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000 number 7. So here we are, lap 6 of 8. Creed out in front. Great battle right now with Matty Brabham and Robbie Gordon.
Well, Brabham, no stranger to Stadium Super Trucks. He's done a couple of events over in the US. He joined us at the Gold Coast event last year and recently announced that he'll join the Team Murray outfit to contest the 100th anniversary, the 100th edition of the Indianapolis 500 in May. That's a big, big story. It's a huge story in Stadium Super that we couldn't be more proud of him. Absolutely, to have Matty Brabham in the 500 here in Indy. Very, very exciting news. That notorious ramp at the top of turn 14. You're carrying a fair bit of heat going down there, but you've got to pull the truck up for one of the slowest turns on the course. Absolutely, you do it. And it's wonder if it's still a little slick in that area there, because just a little earlier in V8 qualifying, there was some oil dumped in the tractor, a bit of an oil slick. See if that's affecting these guys at all or not. Sheldon Creed really aggressive through that chicane. Robbie Gordon doing the same. These guys are wide open right now. They've only got less than 2 laps left to go. Robbie Gordon has his sights set on Sheldon Creed. He knows if he doesn't pass Sheldon Creed, he's going to be 1 point behind him today, which means they're tied up for points. And then this is the most important race of the weekend, so the win with a tie will go to Sheldon Creed. Robbie Gordon cannot finish second. Matty Brabham and the Traxxas driver, number 47 of Keegan Kincaid, now having a great battle. As you see, Sheldon Creed is checked out. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Robbie Gordon to catch him. As you see, Keegan Kincaid grabbing a handful of steering wheel there as he lands off that jump a little sideways. That truck swapping back and forth, but they go through this screaming fast right-hand turn. He starts to disappear from the field. There was some hang time from Creed, and now Brabham starting to feel the heat from Kincaid, who locks the rears at the bottom. Going to go the long way around. He gets up on the curb. Nice and clean, not able to make it happen. Keegan Kincaid, undoubtedly one of the cleaner drivers out there. If you see Kincaid wipe somebody out, they were asking for it. Keegan Kincaid always nice and calm out there, never too spastic behind the wheel, and it works for him. That formula has given him a lot of wins in this series, championships and others, so it works for Keegan Kincaid. Now, still out front with a convincing lead. Check out the ramp. That's the incident we saw before from Matt Mingate on a different angle, and what's this going to do to the trucks with 1 lap to go? That's definitely, as you see, Kincaid a little sideways there as well. That definitely upsets the truck a little bit. When you have the ramp sideways, you got to basically hit the ramp in the angle that it is. So that, especially at that type of speed, so it makes it definitely difficult. Here's Robbie Pierce unloading himself down at turn 11, the Royal Purple Racing Oils, number 30, a legend of off-road racing, and putting on a bit of a show for the fans down in turn 11. Absolutely, he does. Robbie Pierce, what a great guy he is. We've really enjoyed having Robbie with us this weekend, and he's had a really good time as well. Mingay and Price back together again. I'm wondering if we could just see a replay on that, if Mingay just parked him because of what happened earlier. And I got to say, if that is the case, that's not good at all. You know, Mingay had a similar issue getting into Price 2 days ago. And if anything, maybe Price got him back a little bit now. As we go into the replay here, see Price going wide, Mingay running it in real wide, coming in hot. Yeah, there's a bit of feeling there. Yeah, a little bit of feeling there. I don't think... I can't say that none of that was intentional. Look at Robbie Gordon, closer now than ever with a few turns to go, and I wouldn't rule this out with a last corner charge from the IndyCar and NASCAR legend. So much success in off-road racing. He's the man, the brainchild behind this series, modelled off the Mickey Thompson Championship a few years back, and Mingay spins again in the Hot Wheels entry. He'll be looking for a lie down after this. Yeah, absolutely. Mingay's had a tough weekend this weekend. Consistently has been having some trouble through all 3 races here. He's not going to be happy with his weekend result as they come down to the checkered flag. Looks like right now that is Sheldon Creed in the red Traxxas number 74 in first place. Second place will be Robbie Gordon. Third place is Matty Brabham, and Traxxas' Keegan Kincaid. Unofficially, that will give Sheldon Creed the overall for this weekend, which is very exciting. A great start to this year's Toyota Stadium Super Truck Series. It was his 50th race today and his 15th race win overall. A massive future for the 18-year-old Californian as he puts on a bit of a clinic to wrap up a great weekend with Stadium Super Trucks. Creed, your winner for Robbie Gordon. Matty Brabham was third, then Keegan Kincaid in fourth. Bert Jenner was fifth, down to Gardner. Price in seventh, Mingay in eighth. Morris down in ninth, Hines in 10th, and unfortunately for Pearce and Melbourne out of this event. Last time we'll see these guys out on the track. It's a busy week. They head to Florida next weekend for the next round of this championship. We're going to see them later in the year as part of some of our V8 Supercar events. And there's how it looks. Tied on points, but give it to Sheldon Creed this week.